Park in Titusville, Florida. We're in the shadows of the Kennedy Space Center, the site of round number 1 of the International Jet Sport Boating Association's Big Red Jet Sports Tour for 1998. Hi, everybody. I'm Ralph Sheen, and welcome to Florida. This is our first of 9 telecasts that we'll have for you this summer on ESPN and ESPN2. We're going to bring you the entire Big Red Jet Sports Tour here in 1998. And joining me, as always, ESPN's expert on personal watercraft racing, Robbie Floyd. Robbie, as we get this season underway, 2 things come to mind here in Titusville. First, as you can tell from my lovely hair today, awfully windy, small craft advisories. That's going to be tricky. And 2, it's been 6 months since these riders have been in competition. A lot of adrenaline, a lot of nerves. Can they cope with that?
They've been practicing day in, day out, but it all comes down to this. Round number 1, they want to start off on the right foot. It's tough out there. These guys are pumping. They're nervous. I guarantee in the pits right now, they're shaking. The only thing pumping harder than the wind is their hearts right now, Ralph.
Well, even though there hasn't been any racing on the water since last October, there's been a lot of movement among the teams. The first domino to fall was Chris McCluggage.
Max signed his Kawasaki contract the night he won the world title for Yamaha.
With McCluggage moving on, that opens the door for Nicholas Rios.
Nicholas won the national championship on the 785, but he decided to sign with Yamaha, taking Max's spot.
And there was even more movement. Dustin Farthing is also switching.
Dustin made the switch from West Coast Performance to Farthing Speed Zone. He's working for his own team. Dad's a mechanic and in charge of everything. He's going to be one to watch in 98.
That'll be an interesting one. Well, the riders are getting ready, and here's a look at our course.
It's going to be a counterclockwise course. Red buoys signify left turns, yellow buoys signifying right. We have actually 2 split starts going into this left-hand portion of the course. That's the split. They're going to have a decision whether to go inside or outside.
And we're getting set now to go racing with the first action from the Titusville Nationals. That will be the final for Pro Ski. So we take a highlighted look back, and a good start for some and a bad start for others.
A terrible start for the Mission Yamaha rider Tara Chrisman, the one lady against all the men in the Pro Ski.
But Jeff Jacobs, the jammer, got a tremendous hole shot. And he's being chased by none other than Victor Sheldon on that green Kawasaki. But here's Jeff Jacobs on the blue Yamaha with a rocket ship start out front.
It looks like Jacobs and Victor on 2 different portions of the split. We'll see how they come out.
But he would have a problem right here on the first lap, Robbie. Look at the blue arrow. You see the buoy. He missed it. That will cost him a lap.
That is actually a merge buoy, the one buoy that you cannot go back and pick up. We'll see how that plays a part.
The man on the charge early was the rider on the Kawasaki, Victor Sheldon, the green, white, and purple machine. The 4-time national champ would take 3rd early on as he was charging his way to the front.
Victor's very accustomed to charging through the pack. It's been a long time since he's been on that pro ski class. He's been riding the runabout, been sitting down, taking it easy past few years. It's not easy now.
Here he is challenging for 2nd. As he would take 2nd place. Remember, that would actually make Victor the leader because Jeff Jacobs was docked a lap. Now, Tara Chrisman, remember, she got such a horrible start. This young lady was really moving up through the field.
She's a definite hard charger. She's having a hard time in her own respective class in the Pro-Am women's class, but she's going at it with the guys right now having a tough time.
Now, watch this going down the back straightaway, the high horsepower portion of the racetrack. Look at Tara go flying past 3 guys. Let's check in with Robbie Floyd, who's standing by with one of the men who prepares her boats.
Darren, what happened on that start?
Well, it seemed that she had a little bit of a bobble. Things didn't quite go as planned, but she's really good from coming from the back, so I think she's got a good chance out there. She always seems to have to fight for it.
First time in front of the flag and say she's already through half the pack, it looks like.
Yeah, she's really good at that, coming from the back of the pack. You know, if we got off the line clean, she might have it easy for once.
We didn't get that girl a start.
Oh man, she gets a start. She's lethal.
Well, the smallest rider in the field would get her way all the way up to 3rd before she was done with the pro ski final.
Just think, Ralph, if she would have got the start like the other guys did, who knows where she would have finished.
She might have been in front of this guy, Chris Machete, the Fish, all the way up to 2nd place.
Flying Fish, another unfamiliar face. You used to see him back in the day in the top 3. Now he's trying to do the same thing with his buddies Jacobs and this guy, Victor Sheldon.
Even though Sheldon was out front, watch this. Big problems there, but he catches it and stays out front. Robbie, Victor told me this morning that going from the sit-down to the stand-up, as we watch this again, is like going from a Winston Cup car to a Formula One machine. This is a much more difficult machine to get under control.
Right, a lot more stability in the runabouts. These guys, you can notice Victor stretching his back down the straightaways. He's using every bit of effort just to keep on the boat. Look, he got the checkered flag, but it was a tough-fought battle.
How about Victor Sheldon getting the win, and Jeff Jacobs down a lap but still finishes fourth. Afterwards, Robbie Floyd talked to both Victor and Jacobs.
That was a perfect race to know never to give up. And, I never knew Jeff missed a buoy or anything, but he was riding a great race. But I just stuck with him as much as I could and tried to pressure him. And, I don't know, it worked out.
It was one of the white merge buoys, and I basically ran the whole race not knowing that I missed it. Just bad riding on my part, but, I felt good everywhere else. The boat was flying. Riva Yamaha gave me a lot of horsepower out there.
Victor gets the win, but boy, is Jeff Jacobs going to give him fits in coming weeks. The Titusville Nationals are brought to you by Yamaha Watercraft, solid thinking for a liquid world. And McGraw Insurance, the nation's largest provider of personal watercraft insurance. Personal watercraft racing isn't rocket science. They do that just downstream at NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where tour stars Tara Chrisman and Dustin Matsouras were given a personal tour.
That looks like a mock-up, huh? But... How much horsepower? 160 million? Did you get that? These rockets right here. 160 million horsepower. Oh, wow. You have to have straps on your feet when you go to the bathroom so you stay down.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It might be disgusting, Dustin, but it sure is powerful. That was right. 160 million horsepower. Pro Freestyle is up next. And hey, if you're going to go out on your favorite waterway and pull up a few hot tricks, how about the Bulldog Flip? This one taught to you by the champ himself, Rick Roy.
Just go full speed and grab the air intake, slide the ski 180 degrees, and when the ski slide, you look and there's this wave comes at you that you just made, and you hit the wave and flip the bars and hit the throttles as fast as you can, and the ski goes all the way around in the air and land like right in front of you.
Well, one guy that doesn't need any tips on a Bulldog is Lloyd Berlew. He pulls off a pretty good one right there, Robbie.
Yeah, Lloyd, he just changed into that. That's the Bulldog. Rick Roy added the Bulldog Flip, but it wasn't enough to beat Lloydie. Lloydie was on his game. This is the hometown crowd.
Well, one thing Lloyd needs no help in is A, a handstand. That is his trademark. And B, working the crowd. Look at this guy go. That was good enough for fourth as he would position himself one up from Rick Roy. Now, Alessandro Lenzi came all the way from Brazil. He had some unique moves of his own.
This is the guy who won the World Championship last year in the amateur freestyle competition. This guy's one of the newcomers. He's one of the guys to look for, just like Eric Malone was a couple of years ago. He's going to be making some moves in the future.
And making things very difficult here today was the depth of the water. How he pulled this move off in 4 feet of water, I'll never know.
He was bound to be touching bottom there, no doubt about it, Ralph.
He'll take home third with a 48.3. Well, this was the one everybody keeps their eyes on lately. Look at that. Eric Malone, what a strong move.
No-handed aerial barrel roll. He's the guy who started it. That might have been the key to winning his World Championship last year at Lake Havasu. He's definitely the guy everybody's gunning for.
You can hear him working that throttle. There's the old Bulldog.
So he just took a little chapter out of Rick Roy's book there. Everybody's going to be trying. You just got to come up with something better, and that's what Eric's known to do.
Speaking of better, how about this? Double flip, he gets it every time. Now, how high was he? Watch this from our in the water camera. That is hang time.
There's no jumps, ladies and gentlemen. This is all out of him preloading off of that water. A lot of air for Eric Malone, and that's going to add up to good scores.
And a lot of body strength to get that machine up in the air that high, up and out of the water. Good enough for second place at 48.5. Now we thought, who could possibly better that? How about this guy, Douglas Carvalho?
Another Brazilian. He and Lindsay both made the trip to Florida. It's probably the closest race you'll see all year. This is a guy you always look for in the World Finals. Now he's run a couple of national tour events, and boy, we're glad to see him.
And he was really going to have to pull something out of the bag to beat Eric Malone. Remember, that's only 4 feet of water, and he was able to pull that underwater move out. We didn't think we'd see many moves like that today.
No, he pulls off the kilowatt flop, the 180 nose stab into a log roll. This guy's going big time, but watch this move, very violent.
Oh, right to the bottom and back out.
No doubt about it right there. He had to have touched bottom. You saw how hard he stuck the nose in. That's got to be tough on you, Ralph. And there's one guy who didn't make it, and that was Kilowatt Kenneth Wood. He tried one of those moves and broke his nose earlier on. That's why he's not in the top 5.
He didn't touch bottom, he pounded the bottom, but he came out the winner, 48.6, takes the title by 1/10 of a point over Eric Malone. Probably the closest battle we've ever seen in pro freestyle. Rick Roy gets upset, he finishes 5th. Here's our winner with Robbie Floyd.
Douglas Carvalho, congratulations. A couple of tricks. It was real tough out there in the shallow water.
Yeah, the water is not good, but I can do the forward flip, and I think about this trick, I won.
Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. See you.
Douglas Carvalho, freestyle champion here at Titusville.
Well, if winning didn't get his blood boiling, I'm sure the bikini contest could have. A regular part of every IJSBA national event. Hey, stay with us. We're coming back to Titusville right after this. The beachfront here in Parish Park in Titusville, Florida, nestles right up along the waters of the Indian River. But just west of here on I-4 is a race rock, a culinary shrine to motorsports. As you can see, they got plenty of great things hanging from the ceiling. But Steve Lahan thought there was one thing missing in this wonderful collection.
We're here at the Race Rock. We felt the piece that was missing was a personal watercraft. And what better choice than the National Championship Sea-Doo of Team Butch and Nicholas Rios. I'd like to present that to Scott Tompkins.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was last year's weapon for Nicholas Rios. Today, a Riva Yamaha is his weapon of choice. Earlier, we talked to Chris Fischetti about how tough this Titusville course is.
Between the wind chop and the depth, it seems to create some really big pockets. I know some guys crashed in practice, and like I said, I missed a buoy, and some other guys made some mistakes, so a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of wind, and the shallow waters make the pockets a lot deeper. So I think it's just trying to stay on top of the water, not go underneath it.
The more wind, the better. The rougher, the better. And more skill, is needed in the rougher races. And it just makes for more interesting riding.
Well, the Indian River bit Chris McCluggage hard. He had to go to the hospital for 50 stitches. But he's tougher than the river. He's back ready to race, standing by with our Robbie Floyd.
Chris, tell me what happened in practice. Next thing I know, you were coming back into the pits. Blood was all over everybody's shirts.
Yeah, Robbie, I just went around a buoy a little aggressively, and there's some wind chop today, as you guys can see in the background. And I think my hand fell off the handlebars, and when I got back on, when I got back on the gas, my face went straight into the handlebars and cut my lip up and gave me a few stitches.
Is it bothering you at all having to wear that plastic protector over you?
Yeah, it's restricting my breathing a little bit, but we're just going to hope for the best out here.
Well, the riders all set to go. The band stretched across. Field of 15 set to go as the band snaps. They're underway. Headed to the first turn.
It looks like Farthing on the outside is going to have the whole shot, and it looks like a Kawasaki on the inside as we take a look at Joey Portale's onboard camera on the RPG Sea-Doo.
That's deep in the field as he tries to work his way back up into contention, and look how rough this course is.
It's very rough, and I'll tell you one thing, this is just the first lap. It gets a lot rougher.
And look at this. This is up front with Chris Fischetti, and you can see how brutal it is even in the front of the pack.
Coming down that front straight, and look at Dustin Farthing, King D's in second spot, but look how much just one boat is beating him up out there.
Robbie Farthing knows that McCluggage has got those 50 stitches in his mouth. He might be a little bit weak, might be a little sore. He wants to stay close and see if he can wear him down later on.
That's the one place that McCluggage wants to be right now. He's not having to deal with anybody's roost but his own. He says it's very restrictive, and if you can see it underneath that helmet, it is very restrictive on his breathing.
Down the back straightaway, there's a fight for third and fourth.
Looks like Nicholas Grizzoppi in his first year as pro, not doing a bad job in that number 3 spot on the Team Dean's boat. In 4th spot, last year's national champion, Nicholas Rios, going to the inside.
I'd say he's doing a fantastic job on such a tough course, running up here with these big dogs. Grizzoppi doing a wonderful job.
Grizzoppi won the 1200 runabout expert class last year on the national tour. Took the step up, now he's competing with the big boys.
Well, remember Rios, you see him right there riding for Team Butch last year, now getting used to that Yamaha.
Rios, he knows what it takes to win championships. He's just dogging right now, trying to not make any mistakes.
Well, you can't wait too long, though, because McCluggage and Farthing are starting to open up a gap here. And Chris Fischetti coming right after him. There's the fin on top of the helmet.
Uh-oh, he just missed a buoy, Ralph.
That's a big problem for Nicholas Rios. That will put Fischetti in front of him, put the fish in fourth. Watch this again.
We talk about mistakes, and look what happened. He jumps up and bites him. Rios tries cutting the corner a little bit too soon, misses the buoy. He has to go pick it up, or he's down one lap.
Well, those big waves could have had something to do with that too, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. He's setting up for that turn. A wave comes up, shoots the boat right immediately. He really can't do much about it.
Fischetti on the Sea-Doo in fourth, giving chase to Grizzoffi. Don't you go away. Welcome back to Titusville, Florida. Chris McCluggage, your leader, as you look at the top 5 for the pro runabout 785s, and he is definitely the story. Getting 50 stitches just before the races got underway today, he still leads this one. Let's go down along the shore now to Robbie Floyd, who is standing by with his mechanic.
Chris doing pretty good, even with that breathing apparatus he has on.
Yeah, Chris is ready. You know, actually all it was just a little momentum booster for him, a little trip to the hospital, but he's always ready to race, and he's showing it today.
Boy, is he ever. Chris McCluggage out front, but there's some great battles going on behind him, Robbie.
Yeah, it's a great battle with Nicholas Grizzoffi. He's out there on the Team Dean's boat, but he has some tight competition with Chris Fischetti and Nicholas Rios just behind him.
Now look here. Here goes Rios to the inside as Grizzoffi gets passed by Fischetti.
Who's going to come out in front when they head down that front straightaway? That's why we have that merged section. One line might be quicker than the other. Look, lap traffic is coming on to him right now. It's Fish.
And there's Rios. You can see the blue Riva Yamaha closing in down the front straightaway with more lap traffic, and Rios is going to get him. That's from 5th to 3rd.
Rios does an excellent job, takes the inside split. Nobody else was there. Grizzoffi and Fischetti got backed up with back markers.
Pretty obvious why Nicholas Rios carries the number 1.
That's how he won the national championship. He's all the way up into 3rd now. Can he catch up with Farthing and McCluggage? That's the question.
Oh, big problems here. Joe Portale coming to a slow crawl, and that's just not going to cut it. His day is done for the boat number 20.
First race of the year. Some of those things just happen.
So while Joe Portale's day comes to an end, Chris Fischetti's day is actually getting to be a pretty good one. There's a look at the pack. And right behind this boat here, that's Nicholas Rios in the Riva Yamaha. The guy with the shark fin mounted to his helmet, that is Chris Fischetti. The Flying Fish having a pretty good battle with another Riva Yamaha rider. That's Dustin Matsouras on that blue number 7 Yamaha, giving chase to the rider on the white Sea-Doo.
It's kind of an old established rider out in front with Fischetti just ahead of Matsouras. Matsouras, it's only his 2nd year on the national tour as a pro. So he's really got his hands full right now, but he's not backing down at all to the Fish.
And this is a bit of an unusual year for Fischetti, too. He's doing some different things with his boats.
Yeah, Fischetti's almost like an endurance rider. He's going to be in the runabout class of the 785s. He's in the freestyle class. He's in the stand-up. He's got a lot of action all weekend long.
And he's running freestyle with a sit-down just like this. So that's going to make things a little bit difficult for him as well.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be testing any freestyle routines on this back straightaway. Look at Matsouras on the outside trying to get that drive. Well, that's some top speed right there, Ralph. The water's a little choppy, but, man, they are just turning it to him.
Fischetti with not a full factory deal like Matsouras is. However, Fischetti, as we go on board with him, doing a really good job of holding him off. And that is where all that veteran experience comes in. So Chris Fischetti holding off Matsouras at this stage. Oh, look at this fight. Right up at the front now, Farthing has caught McCluggage.
McCluggage, I don't know if he's getting tired or what. He might not be able to breathe quite as well, but Farthing all over him doing the exact opposite. That's what a good racer should.
Farthing giving that Sea-Doo everything it can stand as the bodywork comes apart to the inside of McCluggage. Now around the outside of the next buoy, he's got the lead.
Did you see how well he hooked up on the outside? The Kawasaki lost a little momentum. It shot Chris to the front of it, and there goes King D taking a look over his shoulder.
Well, he knows McCluggage isn't going to be too far behind. Let's take a look at this again. Robbie, really 2 passes to take the lead.
Exactly. Sets up on the outside, jumps his wake. This is going to set him up again on the outside, so he knows he has to get the good drive. He does just that. McCluggage turns too sharp, loses drive. There goes Dustin.
One reason why Dustin's so good at jumping wakes is he's a good motocrosser.
Yeah, it's just like Lake Okeechobee. He's out there on his, motocross bike week in, week out. And when he's not on the water, he's out there doing some testing in the whoops. And Ralph, it's pretty much the exact same type of track you're looking at today. A lot of whoops, a lot of jumps.
You can see him working them, trying to find him, finding that rhythm, utilizing everything he's learned on that bike. Let's check into Robbie Floyd, who's standing by with his mechanic, his dad.
The way it looks from your team right now, he just made a pass for the lead.
All right, that's good. He's in the lead.
We're stoked. We just got the boat together. We had a couple bad luck things happen today, but we're there now.
You had a tough year last year, a lot of breakages. Now you're at the helm. You're in charge of your own team. That's the way you want to start it, Phil.
We're working hard at it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Hey, what happened to McCluggage? Farthing out front, getting away from the lower rider. Now we have a report McCluggage missed a buoy. Oh, yeah. See the green helmet at the bottom of the screen? He's got a double back, Robbie.
He's going back on the wrong direction of the course. That's the one section of the course you cannot go back and pick up, though. That made a difference. He's going to be docked 1 lap for doing so.
Meanwhile, Dustin Farthing just pulling away, really showing the field what this Sea-Doo is all about. And he had troubles getting this boat ready to race.
Right, he put a new motor in it. His father, Phil, was putting a new motor in until 4 o'clock last night. Well, he's also riding with a different motor than he ran in his heat race. This motor was in there 5 minutes before the main event time.
Nicknamed King D, and the King is becoming the king of Titusville here today. Decimating the field, pulling away on the final lap.
On a rough day, look how smooth he's riding in that perfect attack position. He just needs to keep it on the water, and he's going to come home with the win. Look, you can see McCluggage be in the back. He's down a lap. Nobody near Farthing right now.
And I think it's a tribute as well to his training in the off-season. As tough as this course was, he never got tired, just motored away to the victory.
A lot of motocross in the summer. He takes the #1 victory, the round #1. What a Mother's Day gift to his mom, Teresa.
What a tremendous victory by Dustin Farthing. Hey, plenty more coming your way from Titusville after this. The Titusville Nationals are brought to you by Polaris Personal Watercraft. Ride the best. And by Tiger Shark Personal Watercraft. Get hooked. Well, it's been a great day of racing here on the Indian River, and Dustin Farthing came out the winner. Let's go down to Victory Circle and meet our champ.
Dustin, congratulations. You got a pretty good start, man. You just got that motor in there just a couple of minutes ago.
Thanks a lot, Robbie. Yeah, we worked some long hours. My dad worked till about 4 o'clock in the morning last night, and he's been working all day, and everything's came together. I'd like to thank my dad and everybody else on my team. I'd like to thank Big Red, John Schmeltz, for letting me borrow his haul, and everything came out good together. Thank Morris Murray and everybody, Dave Baines, everybody else at Sea-Doo, and I'd like to thank my mom and all the rest of my family, my grandmother, my girlfriend, and I'd like to thank everybody else.
Dustin, it's a brand new team. Everything was new to you going out there. You have to be happy. Your first race and a first win.
Yeah, everything came together good. We did halfway through about January or February. We found out we were gonna have our own team, and everything came together. That's what I wanted for a long time. Last year when I rode for West Coast, and finally got it, and everything's come together good.
Good luck. You got some more rounds to go.
Thanks, Robbie.
You know, Robbie, you should take a look at the full field rundown here. Dustin Farthing did exactly what he wanted to do. He wore down Chris McCluggage, got around him, took the win.
First race jitters are out of the way now. McCluggage, he's got a little catching up to do. Back in 6th.
Good day of racing here with the Big Red Jet Sports Tour season opener. Kareem Pacharel, the only female in the field. She comes home in 13. Here's a look at the other winners and a big one in pro sport.
Yeah, it was Greg, the Wozlaleski taking the pro sport win. He was able to beat Dustin Farthing. That's got to be his biggest win of the year. And Kanamori for the 1200 runabout champion.
Hey, our next stop is coming up at Fort Lauderdale. For Robbie Boyd, I'm Ralph Sheen. So long from Titusville.